Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Office Blow Daz.
I'm Gaynor.
Alright, before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. It does help us grow.
Yes.
As everyone who knows me knows, and everyone's been watching as well, knows that Philadelphia cheesesteak is my favourite food on the planet by a long way. It's close, well, I'd say not by a long way, closely followed by chicken wings.
Yeah.
Buffalo chicken at that. But cheesesteak, Philly cheesesteak is just the king of food, I think.
And I've tried so many times to make it, haven't I?
It's hard. And
never the same.
people come to me and they always say, Philly cheesesteak's great. It's just like Philadelphia cheesesteak, like it should be in Philly. And I try and I go, it's not. Can't get it. No one can seem to get it right.
Yeah.
The only one that's ever come close to an actual Philly cheesesteak, is a Philly cheesesteak, is Ralphie's.
Yeah.
And he used to do the best one for me.
Yeah.
You know, when we went over to New Jersey there a couple of years ago, a year and a half ago, whatever it was, as soon as I walked into the shop, he went, Philly cheesesteak. I went, yep. Brilliant, right?
But I want to watch how they make it so I can try and replicate it.
Finding the best cheesesteak in Philadelphia. Food Source, Food Wars. Let's go.
I'm not a Philadelphia local, but I know it has some of the best food in the world. So I'm taking my friend Harry Kirsch on a road trip to Philly from New York to see what the city has to offer. We're hitting up 5 of the best cheesesteak spots across the city, all in the same day, to see if we can find Philadelphia's best cheesesteak. This is Food Tours. Our first stop, Tony and Nick's in South Philadelphia.
Man, what a country.
I know, right? We're here at Tony and Nick's, not to be confused with Tony Luke's, which was another cheesesteak chain here, but they split off and due to a family feud wanted to differentiate themselves, so they're just Tony and Nick's.
Here we are.
First stop of the day.
First time in Philly, I'm excited.
And I know that you've never had a cheesesteak before, so that would be a perfect place to start.
No, I've had like a steak and cheese sandwich, but nothing that I don't think Philadelphians would consider a cheesesteak.
No. We are at the source.
Okay, here
I'm
we
telling
are.
you, man, we're gonna be eating a lot, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be a little overwhelming, but
Do you remember when we tried the chicken Philly cheesesteak?
It's not the same.
I loved it. At buffalo sauce and it was really
No,
good.
it's not the same. That's a buffalo chicken sandwich. It's not a cheesesteak or a steak. You can't. It's got Philly cheesesteak. It's got to be beef, cheese. I like garlic in mine. Do like having garlic in it
And onions.
and onions, yeah, and that's it. Nothing else.
confidence, your mind is gonna be sufficiently blown.
Yeah, I mean, I like this place. The location isn't what I would call like glamorous. We're kind of just right off a main road by like an underpass. My one critique maybe of the decor is that they could have more red, white, and blue in here because I'm not feeling quite patriotic enough right now. The logo of this place is also an eagle holding a cheesesteak.
Yeah.
I just wasn't sure how this place could get any more American.
Hey, listen up, Britt. You're in Philadelphia, pal. All right? I'm drag over to Liberty Bell and tell you what's what. So
I love
take it
Philly.
easy and
Great
criticize
city.
the patriotism in the city.
Okay. What can I expect from a Philly cheesesteak? What is a Philly cheesesteak to you?
How can I explain this? So the meat is incredibly savory, but with the cheese and there's any vegetables on there, some do, some don't. I like to have onions on mine, but it's like this savory, cheesy, gooey deliciousness just wrapped in the pillowisty, no way, that's a word,
Pillowy, yes?
pillow-like
Sure.
hoagie style bun.
Is it a nice, light, refreshing snack?
Are you insane?
Bit more of a heavy lunch situation?
Yeah, a little heavy.
A little heavy.
Yeah, I would say the famous last words, pace yourself.
Yeah.
So, as you can see, we got two different ones here. One is with American cheese, and one is what is known as Cheese Whiz, W-H-I-Z.
Okay.
It's Christmas Day, baby. Let's open our presents.
I feel like these need to be unwrapped
All
right away. Yeah.
Which one do you want to start with?
I feel like we'll start with the Whiz. From what I've heard,
do
that's
it.
kind of like the classic option. I'd say.
Yeah. Whiz is a good choice.
Oh my god.
So I don't know if I want to wait
Look at that.
and tell you about Cheese Whiz before or after you eat it.
I feel like if I learn too much about it, it might make it less appealing to me. So
Okay.
I feel like I'm just going to roll my
So
sleeves
I'm
up
gonna take a
and
bite in the American, you
get
do a
stuck
bite
in.
of the Whiz, and then we're gonna talk. We're gonna have cheese talk.
Gonna cheese talk.
Yeah.
All right, man. Cheers.
I'm ready. Cheers.
First steak of the day.
Cheesesteak day begins now.
So jealous.
Yeah.
I can taste that.
Oh man.
So Cheese Whiz, or Whiz as it's referred to places like here. It is a already gooey cheese that Kraft makes. Introduced in about the 50s. It's one of the many cheese options you get here. There's no official cheese you can get on a cheesesteak, but Whiz is pretty popular, also American, sometimes provolone.
Provolone, yeah.
As we've talked in Food Wars, you probably noticed that our food has like a lot of chemicals in it.
Of course, yeah.
All that stuff that I probably said in the first 2 seasons of Food Wars, where you're like, what is that?
It's all in here.
You tell me.
There we go.
What do you think?
I mean, yeah, it's pretty good. I can't taste like a ton of it. I'd say like they've been not super generous with the whiz. It's like on the bread rather than on the
Yeah,
steak.
it doesn't look very cheesy now, does it?
What I do
Think
taste
a
is
bit
pretty
more.
good. I mean, it's got like a kind of American cheese vibe to it, not too strong cheesy flavor. So is the whiz like liquid at room temperature? And if so, how do they do that? Because yeah, that seems worrying.
Liquid, like a gel, which actually is more unsettling, if you ask me. But it tastes amazing, so what?
It really does.
Exactly.
That's my first experience of whiz, and honestly, like pretty good.
You want to try the American?
I think we should swap halves. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you prefer?
Someone mentions whiz. I don't think of it as cheese. I think of that electronic shop. No, I think. Well, I'm going for a P, yeah. But I think of that electronic shop. Remember the Whiz?
Yeah, the Whiz, yeah.
Yeah. I used to go in there just to have a look around. No intentions to buy anything, but they had everything.
Yeah. But this is like a bit like Josh and Ollie, apart from they don't actually bite from the same sandwich.
Yeah. But Philly cheesesteak's just like that.
yeah.
Looks mint, that doesn't
Really
it?
good.
Yeah.
I prefer the actual cheese rather than the Whiz.
Yeah, I can go. I'll have any.
I'd like both actually.
It's the meat and the stuff that goes in the meat that gives me the best flavouring.
American or whiz generally?
Whiz.
Whiz.
Come on, you kidding?
Yeah, the classic.
Honestly, though, I probably would get provolone more often. Again, please don't come at me. But I like a cheese with a little bit of a savory bite to it.
Okay.
But as far as decadence, Whiz.
I feel like I don't get a ton of flavor from the American cheese.
Yeah,
I guess that's
compared
not
to
really the
Whiz.
point of cheese. The whiz definitely has like a stronger flavor.
Yeah, that's the chemicals talking.
So like, I don't know, hard to describe. I really like this style of bread where it's got like a little bit of toughness on the outside.
And keep in mind, it's keeping the consistency with dripping wet with meat and cheese and onions off the grill.
Yeah.
So, and it still is keeping its structure pretty well.
It's like a little bit chewy on the outside, which I quite like. Obviously quite pillowy on the inside to try and soak up all that juice because like the bottom of that now is just absolutely
Soaking
soaked
wet.
in like beef, cheese, goodness.
So I personally like mine savory, so I almost always add onions to it. You don't have to, and I want you to think that like it's officially has to have onions. It doesn't. I mean, how's that?
I think it does.
I've got
steak.
onions.
Yeah.
Steak is real good.
See how really juicy it is?
So juicy, it's like dripping with juice. Are they all kind of this filled as well, or have they been really generous here? Because this is like packed with beef.
Every sandwich, 8 ounces ribeye,
Damn.
fresh.
That's generous.
Yeah, it's nice.
That's a
Right?
healthy portion.
Yeah.
This is dangerously good.
The bread plays a big part
You
in
can
it.
you can see what people.
I think the bread definitely plays a big part in it because I like the soft hoagie.
Yeah.
So like if people are trying to give me on like a crust, I'm like, no, it's not. I can't have it like that. It's got
Yeah.
to be a soft hoagie.
Yeah.
Are like very passionate about this, about how it should be done,
Yeah.
how it shouldn't be done. Philly's protective about a lot of stuff, and cheesesteaks might be at the top of the list.
Definitely.
Yeah,
It's
and
like-
rightfully so, right?
Absolutely. On paper, it's quite simple, but it feels like everything very much has its role to play in this sandwich.
You're going to find today that although every single one is bread, cheese, meat, and maybe a veggie, there will be very subtle differences that make it uniquely to the place we get it at.
Jalapeno
But I'm
peppers in
assuring
mine as
you,
well.
everyone's going to be incredible.
Man. I know we've got quite a lot more to eat, but I kind of want to keep going,
I'm
man.
going to hang here, buddy. Well, the next place is like 15 minutes away, so we'll burn off those calories. Yeah, right. We'd have to like run to New York and back to burn off these calories. But it's a thought that counts.
One
Man,
down.
He's going to regret eating all that
Why?
because he's got 4 more to go. And if you notice, Joe only had a bite of his and
That's
then
what you
left
got to
it.
have. You got to just try them.
Yeah.
When you're on a frenzy like this, you just got to try them
Yeah,
and move on.
he's going to get to the next one. He's going to be stuffed
But
by
it's
the time he
actually-
gets to the third.
Cheesesteak's one of them though where I can actually eat 2, or maybe even more.
But when you have
Okay.
burgers, you have 2 burgers.
Yeah, no, well, depends.
Several to
more
go.
to go, buddy. Pace yourself.
John's roast pork.
Pretty good today, buddy.
Really are.
All right, this is John's Roast Pork. This is a James Beard Award-winning spot. They specialize in roast pork.
In the name.
Yeah, but we're here to get the cheesesteak. Also grab a roast pork sandwich. 3rd generation spot. This place, iconic. I mean, look at the smile on that pig's face.
I've been there,
The
you
pig
know.
cannot wait to be on our plates. All right, a few things to keep in mind is it's standard in Philly for most cheesesteaks to get their bread, their rolls from a bakery called Amoroso. But here they do a seeded roll. It's a half Italian roll that is from a bakery, Carangi. I might be pronouncing that wrong. Anyway, that differentiates it from most places. Also, some would disagree with what I'm about to say. I'm a big fan of the Whiz. I like the Whiz on my cheesesteak. This place, don't do the whiz. Okay. And who am I to disagree with John for 3 generations and Mr. James Beard?
Mr. Beard himself.
That roll looks a bit crusty though.
Yeah.
Behold my man.
Here we are.
This is a 12 ouncer. 12 ounces of meat, extra cheese, onions. Check out the roll. Check out the seeds. Huh? Well, what more do you want? How beautiful does this look?
That looks pretty gorgeous, I have to say. And yeah, I mean, this thing is
a big
loaded
sandwich.
up.
I don't know how anyone has one of these and goes back to work.
No, this would put me in a coma.
Yeah. Distinction I want to make. Mm-hmm. Extra American cheese, but the meat is actually loin tail.
Oh, okay.
And a nice flavor to it. You're about to find out.
Sure.
I'm dying to dig into this. How are you feeling?
Yeah, pretty hungry. Let's
go. Do you want the end piece or do you not care?
I don't mind.
Okay.
All yours, man.
I'm sorry. You see here?
You
see the cheese in this thing? You see this?
This is hefty.
And go.
Oh.
What did I tell you?
Woo.
What did I tell you? I think the reason that I lean more towards the whiz, the whiz has a more distinct flavor that I like.
Yep.
When you go double or extra
That's
American
a lot of
cheese,
cheese.
like we did here, it's just as good as the whiz. So
Yeah.
I will forgive the whizlessness.
I do feel like quite a lot of what I feel in my mouth when I'm eating.
When I looked at the first one, the first place they went to, and they would have the cheese whiz. I get that's not going to be like stringy sort of thing, but when you have like, I think Swiss gives you the most stringy sort of texture, doesn't it? I think.
I think mozzarella does.
Mozzarella, yeah, but you're not going to have mozzarella, I don't think, on a cheesesteak. It's got to be Swiss or provolone. I think provolone gives you that cheesy sort of
or
thing as well.
American cheese.
But you've got to have that. When you bite into it, you want that cheesy string, just not too much, but you want that cheesy string. You've got to have enough cheese on it to make sure you can taste it, and it gives you that texture of the beef and cheese together. That's ideal, I think.
This is the cheese, but I mean, there's so much meat in here that you're still getting like good ratios. It's all kind of like mixed together in one joyful blob.
Yeah, the ratio of this one is definitely winning.
Yeah.
For me personally. Mm-hmm. We'll see.
You like it meaty?
Yeah, I mean, compared to the
I
last
can
place I
smell
went to, I feel like it was a little more
It's where I need 4D.
than I like. I mean, this is a much more solid bun. It's like holding it more together, even though it's
Yeah,
not as thick.
looks too crispy.
I don't know anything about bun science, but right? I mean, it's more meat, and the bun has like absorbed less juice. I mean, it's not as juicy, I think, but the cheese more than makes up for that.
Yeah,
It's a different cut of meat, so I think that's probably why.
Like I said, between the no whiz,
Yep.
the loin tail,
Yep.
and the bun, it's a pretty
Yeah.
unconventional cheesesteak.
Right?
Yeah, they put their own spin on it. That's for sure.
Fantastic. All right, I know this is a cheesesteak video,
Yes.
but come on. John's roast pork. We gotta try the roast pork.
It is called John's Roast Pork. I was a bit surprised when you were taking me to a place called John's Roast Pork for a cheesesteak. I'm not surprised anymore. Don't get me wrong.
I'm only gonna take one bite because we got so much food, but you have to try the sandwich.
Okay, man.
Trust me. Here we go.
Oh, this thing's stacked. Look at that.
This is so good, huh?
Oh, man.
Oh my god, just dripping with juices over here. Dripping with juices.
Dust his arm.
No.
Yeah, you really can't underestimate the importance of bread in a sandwich.
Look at the cheese they got down here too. They're generous with the cheese here, which I like.
They're generous with that everything here.
All right.
If you come to John's, you're not leaving hungry. Damn. That's so good, man.
Although I'm not hungry anymore, we have so many other Philly cheesesteaks to try.
Man.
Want to head out to the next spot?
I guess so. Let's try it.
Let's go. All right, the next 2 spots are literally across the street rivals, so we can't go to one without the other. First, we're going to Pants. All right, this is Philly Cheesesteak Ground Zero. 1930, first cheesesteaks are coming out of here. This was originally a hot dog stand, and they're making cheesesteaks for themselves.
That's how they
Some
should be,
customers
right?
like, yo, give me that. I want that. And the Philly cheesesteak was born. This place is so popular, they sell over 6,000 of these on a weekend.
Wow.
That's a lot of
It's a lot
steaks.
of steaks.
Some locals will disagree that this is the best, but I feel like we had to come to the original place.
course.
So I got one because I'm eating sandwiches all day and I don't feel like throwing out another half of a sandwich. I hope that's okay. Now, I'm gonna unwrap it, all right?
That's allowed, yeah.
Again,
go for
this
it.
is Christmas morning. Ready, everyone? Look, yo, Doug.
Oh, it's whizzy.
Oh, they didn't cut
Oh,
in
they didn't
half,
cut it.
though.
Should we might have to pick it up and Lady and the Trumpet.
I want to call your attention to the cheese.
Please do.
Whiz is by far the most famous cheese they have here at this location. Says they sell it almost 10 to 1 American cheese or any other cheese. They love the whiz here. The whiz.
Please.
They love the whiz here.
Yep.
Now, I think it's important to point this out to you as someone who has no experience with Cheese Whiz, that to me, Cheese Whiz is usually the bright, unnatural yellow that this is. Nothing is this yellow in nature.
No,
not even
natural about
lemons,
this. No.
not bananas. So I can rip it in half, and then we can each have a bite.
That sounds good.
Okay.
I trust your hands to be reasonably clean.
Yeah.
There we go.
I was petting a stray dog when I got these, but I don't think that matters. All right, here we go, my guy.
Funny guy, him, actually.
The original, the king.
Take a bite, buddy.
I got whiz.
You got whiz!
Oh, let me just de-whiz my hands. Okay, what are you getting from this one, Joe?
For the amount of whiz that's out,
I'm not going to lie, I'm thinking I could probably get a flight to Philadelphia for about 350 quid.
Just drop it.
Just one day I need, and I can have 2 days, one night stay over, and I can have 2 days of eating cheesesteaks and come back.
Yeah.
this. The cheese flavor is surprisingly not as strong as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah,
I thought it was just going to be like biting into a block of cheese, but
No.
I love the cook of the meat. You know, in there, they just have a grill, just like the meat is just, it's just going nonstop. There's a long row of it. There's like boom, steak, 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 steak.
Not being cooked to order, it's just like a
Yeah,
whole...
well, it's going so fast. I mean, it's cooked to order because they can't stop. So when I saw that, I was like, what's the quality here? But I think it's really good. The onions are really doing it for me.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
If I can draw your attention to the meat, Joe, it's quite a big ribbon of steak, whereas I feel like the ones we've had before have been pretty like finely diced. I actually quite like the texture of this.
I like that one
I
better.
feel like the
Yeah, I think
shavings.
it gives more of a chew to
That's
it.
right, because your guys' bacon is that weird, like flimsy bacon, right?
That's
Not
an
in America.
insult.
In America, we like it nice and diced. We like our meat cut up so like finely you can snort it.
Do you like the meat here? Because I feel like the meat, like I say, texturally is really good and has a nice flavor.
I don't prefer that. I prefer the meat being diced up a little bit more because when it's cut smaller, it. How can I put this? It just gets wrapped up so well with the cheese. The cheese to meat ratio works a lot better. I want my cheesesteak to be as steaky as possible, baby.
Sure.
As cheesy as possible. For the roll, I mean, it's good, but I mean, I'm tasting a lot more bread. The bread ratio in the sandwich is higher than I like it.
Yeah, I'd say it's higher than other places that we've been. I'd say less meat in this one and more emphasis on the bread.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like a massive downside necessarily.
Okay.
I feel like you don't want just a mouth completely full of meat. You need like texture, flavor balances going on.
Go ahead and isolate that clip.
Shut up.
I personally love having a mouthful of meat. I think that it is a negative to not have as much meat. This to me, if I was in this area, this would be probably my everyday cheesesteak, depending on the price, and my go-to fix. But yeah, man, you're loving the big pieces of meat.
These big pieces of steak, man. I'm really digging it. I don't
Wow.
know.
Look at this. You almost ate the whole thing. That's the farthest you've gotten any sandwich today. Wow.
I'm trying to pace myself, but particularly the meat, I just think it's really good here.
He's
Right.
gained so much weight,
Not your
hasn't he?
favourite. I mean, you have to give them some
doing
credit
all
for
these
being the
food.
originals.
Yeah, sure.
That
Oh, they get all the
definitely
credit.
weighs in the factor.
It's a pretty good sandwich still.
Yeah, definitely.
Now the next spot we're going to is Lafarge, Gino's.
Okay, cool.
So I ended up calling an Uber.
Yep.
And he's here.
Okay,
And he's
cool.
parked right across the street. Can we get a shot? He's over there
Oh, cool. Right.
in
Yeah.
front of the sign that says Gino's.
I think I've been there.
But in all seriousness, we're going to go across the street to Gino's, which is a bit of a rival of Pat's.
course.
They opened, I think, in the 60s, so 30 years after this place. I mean, in 1999, they were both on Dr. Phil, where he described their rivalry as more intense than the war in the Middle East.
Okay.
And on the show, whether it was just pettiness or acting for the cameras, they both tried each other's sandwich on camera.
I think I've been to these two, Pat's and Gino's.
You have?
I've been to one where they face each other. I'm pretty sure it's Pat's. If Gino's is the one that's like got all the photographs on the ceiling, on the wall, so like same like a hole in the wall type of thing. Yeah, I've been to them.
On the Dr. Phil show, and they both instantly spit it out. It's a little much. A little much.
That's the level of pettiness that I aspire to. That's
It would have been
perfect.
so funny. You know, they always do the thing like, we're revealing the test results. So everyone like flips out. They get the sandwich, but it spit it out, and then like, and Dr. Phil's like, actually, those were your own sandwiches. Whoa! Look, Phil, Dr. Phil, Dr. Phil, Dr. Phil. Yeah, that sandwich is not the father. All right, I'm hungry. Let's go eat a sandwich.
Cool, man. Well, here's Gino's.
The front of this place is ridiculous.
Looks like the Las Vegas Strip or something.
Here we are.
Here we are.
Gino's. As you can tell by how busy this place is, it's probably the tourist destination for cheesesteaks
It's popping off here.
in the city. Now, that might be a good thing, might be a bad thing. We'll find out in a second. But as you can see, there's a ton of people here. Now, this place, they're slinging cheesesteak sandwiches here.
Did you notice
I'm not
anything
sure if
then?
it is the same one I've been in. I'm sure I've been in the two with facing each other like that.
Did you notice anything then though?
No. Go
You
back.
could go to the cheesesteak and then to the king
King
cannoli.
cannoli. Oh.
You love a
That's
cannoli,
heaven for
don't
me,
you?
that, isn't it? That's that, just that one row, just keep going back, just keep queuing back up again.
And then hopefully round the corner is a hospital for your heart attack.
Well, hopefully there's a bar that sells beer.
But as you can see, there's a ton of people here. Now, this place, they're slinging cheesesteak sandwiches here. The owner said that the best way to have it is with provolone cheese. He refers to that as real cheese. But the numbers don't lie. They go through 8 to 10 cases of Cheese Whiz a day. So we got it with the
Man,
Whiz.
I love the terminology of a case of whiz, like a case of wine.
Yeah, I don't know what it
But,
is.
like, corked
Is that what you're
bottles of
thinking? I
Whiz.
was thinking like a case of beer, like just cans of Whiz, like crack, crack. Like there's like this cans all over the floor. Like, man, they gotta make these in bigger cans. We're getting killed
Meant in a
here.
bigger container.
Either way, I'm assuming it's a lot of Whiz.
Yeah, sounds like it.
And here it is. So
Visual impressions, talk me through it.
we'd mentioned earlier my preference of the meat being really chopped up.
This is not that.
And it's almost like the irony of the universe was like, well, here's the exact opposite thing you just declared you liked.
Oh, you like small pieces of
Yeah,
meat,
well,
huh?
here's the longest ones. I mean, these are.
Try and pull one of these out. Like,
Yeah, let's see that.
They just haven't cut this. This is just like a full slice of ribeye, isn't
So
it?
this is up your alley, isn't it?
This is kind of more my thing on paper.
It's definitely a juicier sandwich once you pull it apart here.
I'm holding.
Ah.
Here we go.
Also, once again, maybe as small as the one we just had, maybe as small as Pat's.
Yeah.
Whereas
the biggest
Tony
one.
and Nick's and John's roast pork, they had some weight to it. They were
Yeah.
like the weight of an infant.
I would say so.
These sandwiches are definitely more manageable. The bun is quickly becoming soaked
Yes.
in the juices.
But it's like, it's soaking it up pretty well. It's like
Yeah,
a
it is
spongy bun.
It's got a good sponge to it.
Absorbent.
All right, well,
Should we give it a try?
we'll continue. Let's give it a try.
All right, man.
All right, but first impressions, this is not what I was expecting.
No.
I'm just saying.
So it looks soft as well.
Yeah, it looks quite
nice
soft,
and soft.
doesn't it?
Talk me through it. What are you getting?
Here's what I like about it. The meat is tender enough to, even though it isn't really chopped up, it's still just, melting in the mouth, easy to bite through it. So that I like.
Yep.
The whiz to meat ratio, pretty good. The onions, but overall, the flavor's just not jumping out at me. I like it,
Yeah.
but I'm not flipping out about it.
I think I'd broadly agree with you.
Oh, nice.
I like the texture of like bigger pieces of meat, like
Yeah.
I said, at Pat's.
Yeah.
This is maybe almost too much, because that is, like I say, they basically just haven't chopped this up at all.
Like, do you guys have roast beef? And
We do have roast beef,
This
yeah.
is like a roast beef
Tomatoes on
sandwich.
that one.
Famously.
Yeah.
Pretty similar. I'd
Should've
say
put
with a British
tomatoes
roast
on
beef
it.
sandwich, you tend to get even thicker slices, but like that's kind of what you expect. I think one issue I'm having with this is that the toppings aren't really like mixed in very well.
Doesn't look great
No,
either.
it
That makes
doesn't.
sense. So like you get the whiz straight on the bun,
Yeah.
then like quite a lot of beef,
You like it all mixed up.
and then the onions.
It's the definition of just fine. Right? I
Yeah.
feel like we could get this in New York.
Yeah, I feel like you could make this pretty much anywhere.
And yet, that's the most popular one.
Yeah, that one, I think I've been there. Orange looks dead familiar to me. The
Yeah.
orange sort of thing, but for some reason I've got pictures in there in like the alleyway of like, I think like, President Clinton had been there, or Reagan or someone like that. They had like famous people all going in all these picture frames all over, even on the ceiling.
Yeah.
When you stood there, but it was a hole in the wall like that.
But that looks the least appetising, and yet, out of
Does,
all
doesn't
of
it?
them,
You
that's
said
the
it's
most
the biggest
popular.
It's probably got
like
the biggest
tourist.
sign, hasn't it? It depends on location as well,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Yeah, I guess so.
Making me proper like jealous this stuff.
We have to go and get some now. Ribeye now to make one for dinner.
Cheesesteak.
Yeah.
It's okay. I'm sorry,
Oh,
Gino's.
yeah.
I'm sorry, Gino's.
I mean, Gino,
It's just fine. I mean, like, look how.
looks like
yeah.
you're doing okay, so you don't
You
need our
can, you can
endorsement.
see it there, like when you bite into it. That is just one big layer of meat, and that to me,
Yeah.
like when the texture is
I know
concerned.
exactly what you mean. You
Yeah.
expect the cheesesteak to be like a meaty, cheesy, possibly oniony, bready bite,
Yeah.
all of it in one. So, I think we got room for one more.
I think so. Yeah. Somehow
more.
I can
Can't
squeeze
they
one
spin it
more
all in?
in.
Yeah, they're not eating full sandwiches, are they?
Our last stop, it's a little outside of downtown Philly, but I wouldn't let Harry and I leave without going to the spot that is loved by the locals.
Road trip. Having fun, Joe.
It's a little tight. You're probably wondering why I took you to this noisy part of town.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a good observation you made. Like, all these spots are right on busy
They're all
streets.
really
I
busy,
feel
aren't
like
they?
this is just a damning indictment of Americans' lack of walkable cities. The fact that everywhere we've eaten today has been right next to a super busy road.
All right, get off your high horse.
Public transport now.
Yeah, you're just jealous because your city can't have these big roads because it's built and we still have horses and buggies. All right? But the good news is, Philly cheesesteak time.
You guys do make a
Once
good
again,
steak.
I got one for us to split. Oh, I'm loving the color of this whiz.
Oh,
Oh,
that looks good.
Okay.
we're in trouble.
Oh,
We're in
baby.
trouble.
And look, I think it says something that we've already eaten a lot of steaks today.
Yeah.
And I look at this and I'm still quite excited to try it.
Yeah, it's look really good?
It looks really good.
Yeah. Interesting fact about D'Alessandro's is it actually built atop Ben Franklin's grave.
Wow, really?
No.
Some haunted steaks.
I have no idea. I don't know anything about this place. Other than every Philly native said, we have to go here. So, okay, we're here.
Okay,
You ready?
Philly, fine. I think so.
Ready for a bite?
Get stuck in,
This is
man.
number 5 that we've had?
Maybe 6? No, 5. 5.
Wow. What a day.
You going in?
Okay.
Oh, no.
And my favorite consistency. Pillowy bun. The cheese and meat mixture might be
Bun looks
perfect.
good.
I'm really getting the cheesy taste and I'm really getting the whiz in there, right?
Yeah, man. This is really good. Generous with the fillings.
Looks more like
That's
mince,
how it-
doesn't
that's
it?
how it's
Finest
supposed to look.
chop on the meat we've had all day.
See, I think that's the best look.
I'm looking at yours specifically right there. That's what I'm looking for. I want total saturation
Yeah.
of cheese in the meat.
Same.
You know, I kind of went into this thinking that I enjoyed more steaky, big pieces of meat,
Yeah. Yeah. But
but
a mind has been changed.
this sandwich is definitely doing something to change my mind.
Oh, that's fantastic. I love to hear it. Yeah, see, when it's more broken up like this, you have more of an opportunity for the cheese to just like congeal with the meats. And with the onions and the bread, like the bread's real appealing. This sandwich was sitting for a minute. Hasn't completely soaked through, not overly juicy. Fantastic consistency. Sorry. Fantastic consistency.
Juicy as hell.
Okay,
Again.
I'm like almost done with this half.
It's like dripping off of mine. Yeah, before today, I had never had a proper Philly cheesesteak,
Uh-huh.
but I'd seen some like videos on YouTube and stuff and pictures of them online.
Yeah.
And this is kind of how I imagined it to look and taste. This has given me a decision to make, man.
I know. Uh-oh. We almost got away. We almost got away with our picks. And this one comes in. Man,
last
this
one looks
is
nice.
fantastic. All right, buddy. 5 Philly cheesesteaks, one day. We are outlaws, baby.
Really
Philly
are.
fanatics got nothing on us.
I don't know how we're still standing.
I don't know either.
I'm having to drink a Gatorade like some kind of like athlete who's
I'm about to
been
collapse
depleted.
like the 95.
Some topical humor there.
Thank you.
That might be rebuilt fully by the time this video goes live, but
So,
I'm sure people will enjoy
You
it.
had said that you have tried numerous cheesesteaks today. I think the elements of a great cheesesteak are not only the bread, meat, cheese,
That's
and
the
potentially
goal, right?
onions, but how they work together. So you get the perfect bite in each one. That's what I was looking for in a sandwich today. How about you?
Yeah, I agree. I think where some of these might have fallen slightly short is just because they haven't got the ratio quite right. Whether that's not enough cheese, whether that's too much meat. There's kind of like a few different things you have to balance to get a really, really good steak.
Great.
But I do think all of them have been good. I would happily go back to pretty much any of them.
All right, but if you had to pick one,
If I had to pick one, it's quite tough. I think my runner-up honorable mention would be John's roast pork,
okay.
because it was really good. It was a bit different. It was like, you know, the seeded bun, the no whiz. I did enjoy it. I do think, for me, given my expectations coming into this, having never had a cheesesteak before, but having seen and heard a lot about them, what I was expecting a cheesesteak to look and taste like was this D'Alessandro's steak.
Wow.
This lived up to all my expectations. Even though we're at the end of a long day of eating cheesesteaks, I've really enjoyed this. I would happily finish this whole thing off.
Wow.
I don't know, I thought it was really good. How about you?
I agree, that was
I
the
agree with
best.
you, except I'm going to flip the two. This was my second place, but John's roast pork was my favorite.
Nice.
Yeah, I guess with just the way that they put the extra American cheese on there and their specialty bun that I know isn't the classic bun
Yeah.
or the standard bun that they
Looks good,
have.
that, though.
But
Yeah,
that
it
one I
does.
was just like, I was
That
completely
bun,
blown away
the
by how
seeded
great that
bun
sandwich
didn't do it
was.
for me.
Well, I like seeding buns.
All right, It's starting to rain, so let's get out of here.
Yeah. I'm going to grab my Gatorade, the last bit of this, and we can hit the road.
Okay, let's get out of here.
So British, isn't he?
Yeah.
I want to take another bite, but I can't. We got a long car
You
ride
don't
ahead of
waste
us.
food.
Yeah, but he just like comes across as so British, like there's like I don't know.
You have to eat
like,
everything on the plate.
Yeah. But that's proper got me in the mood for a
I think that's what we're having
Philly
for dinner,
cheesesteak.
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's just. I don't know, I'm just thinking I can get a flight to Philadelphia. I don't even have to stay. I can fly back the same day. I can go in the morning, arrive, and then come back on the night flight.
Yeah, you could do.
Yeah, and just do that and just get a cheesesteak back on the plane and back home.
Yeah.
A 1-day trip to Philly.
Yeah.
Yeah, just for a cheesesteak. Might do that.
Yeah.
I might have to look into that one. But that's got me really like. I'm angry actually. I'm like bastards. Why did I watch that?
Made you hungry.
Yeah. Anyway, I enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Don't forget like and subscribe. We'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.
Bye.